So I would like to introduce you all to Christoph and his daughter Lisa. They're actually joined the WordCamp a couple of years ago, and now they came back because they want to share some project of theirs. And so, yeah, basically I give the floor to them, so they're going to share some insights, the challenges they face, and feel free, the floor is yours.
Excellent, thank you for the introduction. So, well, this is actually the perfect session to kick off the summer season. You're going to see some beaches out there, so get in the right mood for the summer splash. So, yeah, so a good time. As it was mentioned, we are not really, like the part of the, let's call it the hardcore WordPress communities. It's rather for us more opportunistic. We joined, Lisa was still a pretty small girl, the WordCamp, I think one of the first ones that was organized in Vienna. Still, t-shirt still fits. So when we then were looking for a tool to work on our project, then we remembered what we learned there, back then, and came back, to WordPress. So we have been working with WordPress on our project. So we really want to take you on a quick journey from an idea to implementation, and really also the great things you can do with WordPress. So, Lisa, just a few words about you.
Okay, sure. So, my name is Lisa, and I'm 16 years old. I love spending my time outdoors, doing sporty activities like going hiking, riding your bicycle, or just climbing, stuff like that. I also enjoy playing piano. I love listening to music, and above all, I also love going on trekking tours with my dad, especially in the mountainside of Corsica.
Thank you, perfect. Yeah, just a few quicks about me. So I have, some IT background. My passion started with Commodore 64, if anybody still can remember that, old times, and have. Well, most of my professional career, I worked more in finance administration, but a few years ago, I said I'd go back to the roots, which is really IT and information technology. And since then, I'm working in the field of business intelligence, which is a little bit a different world of WordPress, more the world of SAP, that keeps me busy in my professional life and time. So, just a quick words about this project and the motivation of this project is. So we both, Lisa and me, really passionate about going outdoors and having fun, exploring the world in the mountains. Welcome. Just the crowd is. Sorry, the smell is not us. Yeah, just the smell coming from outside. So. So we have been out there a lot on an island, which is really our favorite place to go. And I recommend, if you have never been to Corsica, it's a very special place. And why? What makes Corsica so special? This island in the Mediterranean is because it's really essentially a mountain range in the sea. So we coming from the mountains, we love the mountains, go on mountains, but you cannot beat, going to the mountains and the sea at the same time, and that's really what you have in Corsica. So we're exploring a lot, the coastlines there, and unfortunately what we also found out, there's the most beautiful beaches, you see a little bit a glance of this on the files, but unfortunately also many of them, they are not so clean. You will find a lot of trash and litter on it, and this makes it really a little bit sad because this is the most beautiful place, and then you just it's a little bit spoiled by all the litter that you have there. So we said, okay, let's do something about it, and also it's a bit special. It doesn't, it sounds like a simple problem. There's litter, somebody comes and picks it up, but no, it's a little bit more difficult than that, because when you trek on the island of Corsica, the beaches, the nicest places are actually hard to get to, which makes it also really also fun and adventurous. And so you need to have some sense of collaboration that typically you will find many people who collect the stuff and put it to the side, but actually, you need a boat to pick it up. Yeah, so it needs this element of collaboration that, we thought is really important here to solve the issue, to really have, to make Corsica really the first Mediterranean island with only clean beaches. And okay, so we said we're gonna work on a solution for that, which essentially started with a web directory site that records all the exact GPS geolocations. That's very important. We don't talk about addresses because in the wilderness, you're lost with address. You need really the exact geolocation. And also, that was kind of part of the project, was to really make the solution available, well, to others. And the great thing, and there's really this great platform, I really have to say, I think it's really genius, is the solution of the WordPress Multisite that makes it super easy to share a solution in a single installation. And that makes it very easy and very cost effective and also very easy to administer and maintain. So what we thought, what really would be important to make the solution really, easy to adopt. Yeah? And we said, okay, we start with WordPress, because in WordPress you have an incredible wealth of already pre-built building blocks. So you don't start from scratch. You pick solutions that you have there, and you can work from there and then adapt it to your requirements and needs. And also the WordPress platform in itself is really built on collaboration, and that I think is a great fit also for our project and our initiative. So we said the things that really have to work well in this application is this element of geocoding, so that you really can easily identify a place in the world, well, on an island, on a beach, that is really precise and exact, that you can really find it on a satellite map, if you go and want to help with the cleanup or with the removal of trash. And so that's a key element. The satellite imagery is really key, and it really should be really easy to use. And also, and this is very important, that the solution has to be collaborative. So typically on a directory listing site, people are posting listings for whatever, for their things they sell or things they rent. But this has to work a little bit in a different way. It has to be built in a way that also a listing can be shared and people can together collaborate on a single posting and listing. So why we think that really WordPress is such a great solution for that, and you see it in a real live demonstration just in a couple of minutes, is because first there's a genius ecosystem of themes and plugins. There's really not a single problem that has not already been solved in WordPress, so you can really pick from the pool, from this great ecosystem, what fits to your project, to our projects, and that really was a great start. So really no need to be an IT expert, and I have a little bit background in IT, but also as some ambitious hobby, let's say enthusiast, you can really build great solution that is really more than just a presentation of a profile, but really has also functionality using the plugins for your purpose. Also, no much money needed, really, if you have some simple hosting. Most stuff you need for WordPress is really free, which makes it also really great. And I really have to say that the money I spent was mostly on things that I didn't at the end up using, which is a bit sounds a bit odd, but I will come back to that a little bit later in the presentation, to the lessons learned and the experience, and what we would do better if we would start all over again. But most things are free, so most of the components that we use in this platform is completely free of charge. Yeah, and also, last but not least, I come back to the WordPress Multisite. Not sure if everybody knows what it really is, so explain it just in 1-2 sentences. So with a WordPress Multisite, you can easily, in an easy way, create subsite to an already existing installation. So it means you work in the same hosting, in the same platform, the same technical environment. No need to set it up again. No need to find a hosting company. You just share it. And that always works well. Of course, you want to share a solution that is really available, that you want to share in the community, that other people can make use of it. That was an excellent fit, because we thought we build a solution for Corsica, but other people could use it for any other place, for any other region, for the other country in the world. Okay, can move on.
Okay.
So now we get really to the interesting part. You really get to see a little bit how that works in the real life. So we will have Lisa here, guiding you through a little live presentation, a quick one of the tool and how it works.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just gonna show you a quick demonstration of our project. Just gonna click on our website. So this is our website that we created with WordPress, and here in the background you can see this pretty beach, which is actually the place where our whole idea for this challenge started. So yeah, I mean, you might be thinking yourself, well, what is the Crazy Corsica Challenge? Well, our motto and goal for it is to make Corsica the first Mediterranean island with only clean beaches. So another aspect of it is this countdown that you can see right here, which refers back to an important day in Corsica's history. I'm just going to click on this, read about the Corsica Challenge. So yeah, the countdown is on the 18th of November, and it marks the 270th anniversary of the proclamation of the Corsican Constitution, which is like sort of the start of the only period of time when Corsica was independent. So it's a pretty important day for the Corsican people, and we just wanted to refer back to that. But of course, you can always read more about that on our website. So next we have becoming a scout or a champion. So really generally on our website we have two roles that a person can be. A person can either be a scout. A scout is a person who reports or like posts littered locations that they find. And of course a scout can also help out with the cleanup. But of course often it's also the case that, like my dad already mentioned before, that some beaches have a lot of heavy trash where it's difficult to remove the trash, or maybe a beach is secluded or like hard to access. And that's where the champion comes in. So a champion is somebody who collects the debris and removes the trash from the reported location by the scout. Yeah, so often it would also be practical for a champion to have a boat, but we will also get back to that later. Right, next we also have some other extra information here about this raffle, about us, who we are, and also you can always contact us. And yeah, so next I'm just gonna come back to the homepage by clicking on that head. I always think that's so cool, just click on the head and you come back to the homepage. So, next let's just imagine if you're looking for a nice beach to go to, you're on vacation, and let's say you're in Haute-Corse. Where are you? You're in the region of Saint-Florent. You want to go somewhere where you know there's no litter, it's pretty, so you're just going to click on location was cleaned, enjoy, and on the search. And there you go, just like that, you have all of your locations of clean beaches listed up in your region of choice. And you can just click on full mode here, so make it a lot more detailed. And you can also click on the pins and look at the current situation of the beach, look how pretty that is, and look at the different types of beaches at sunset. And yeah, so let's just say you're looking around and you're looking for a nice place to go, and you find this, and you're like, oh, this looks like a great place to go. You just click on that, and yeah, we're just gonna scroll down, and you can see the current state of location is green, so always when the location is green, it's a clean beach. You can also see the champion of this location, so the person who cleaned the beach up, in this case that would be me. And then you also have a lot of pictures here that you can look at. Just look at the beach how it was before with the litter everywhere. You can post the process of cleaning it up, and you putting together the trash, putting it in the bags, and then you also have an after picture of the now clean beach. So yeah, another thing you can do is here, if you want to get there, you can press on the button Get Directions and just get directions to the precise location you want to go to. You can also always bookmark a location if you want to get back to it later, and also share with your family and friends over any of your preferred social media platforms. So yeah, so that's the clean locations. But what about the littered locations? I'm just gonna click back here. So yeah, let's say it's a nice day outside and you want to go outside, do some activity, and you're ready to clean up a beach, do something good. You can click here on the littered locations, and immediately these locations will be filtered out, and you can press on the icons, see where there's still a beach where that needs to be cleaned up, a beach that still needs a champion. So yeah, this looks like a beach that could use our help. This right here looks like a beach that can definitely still be improved. So you can scroll down here, and you can see the current state of location is littered, so it's red. You can see the scout of this location, so the person who posted and reported this place. You can look at some characteristics and also some photos of the current situation. You can see there's a lot of debris, so you can just see what you're getting yourself into, so you know what to expect. And yeah, you can see that actually the place is actually a really nice place, but you can make it even better by cleaning it up. Okay, so now we're going to do something completely different. And let's just say you go to this beach and you clean the trash up, you bring it and you throw it away, and now the beach is clean. So what are we going to do? We're going to click on this icon here, or the button, update the location. Because now the beach is clean, so we're going to change this. The current state of the location is not littered anymore, so we're going to go and change that. Change it to location was cleaned, enjoy. Type a quick description. Is a very beautiful place. Got a few in there. Okay. Well, else you can update the title photo. I'm just gonna choose this one right here because the other photo isn't up to date anymore, so we're gonna go and change that. Right, you can also, of course, add some extra pictures if you wanna show your process of cleaning up the beach. There we go. And now we filled everything out, we can submit the location update. Okay, changes have been saved. You can go to view, and wow, now it's a clean beach and there's no trash on it anymore, and now it definitely looks a lot better. You can see the current state of location has changed. Now we are the champions of this location. We have cleaned it up. You can see a picture right here of the process and the description. And another aspect of it is you can also still see and look at the history of the place. You can look at the info spot, which is still like how it looked like before, and you can see this transformation of a dirty beach to a clean one.
Yeah, beautiful. This was a great transformation. It's so easy to make. Actually, I hope I think Lisa really gave, I think, a good summary. I think just the one thing I want to stress or just point out is really this aspect of collaboration, because this location is available for everybody. So it's not somebody posted, he's the scout. He's the guy, he walks to the beach, he sees something, say, oh, that's not nice, but I don't have time, I want to go swimming. Okay, that's perfect, do that. But for other people that, they want to do some workout, great, don't go to the gym, go to the beach. And do something meaningful. It's really super easy. So that's the part of collaboration. You find the place. You need the satellite image to really find the exact spot. You need to go there. You have all the tools for that. And you make the pictures. You post the update, and it's a clean beach. So for others who just want to go on a day out, to find all the nice places, it's also a tool just to find cool places. Not, so you can use it both ways. And there's a little bit of thinking, and also to make it, cool, but useful and meaningful at the same time. So that was, excellent to summarize.
Thank you.
Yeah, so now I get a little bit to the part to explain about the journey. So you see, a cool thing. I think it's pretty cool. It actually looks even nicer on a cell phone, on a mobile device, which we thought is even more important because, people will mostly, this is the thinking, use it when they are on the go and go out there, and post it from their mobile phone because that's the best place because you locate your place. You just press a button. You don't even have to find the place. You just click on, on the icon. It will put the exact pin at the exact position of your, location. And that's very important that the position is correct because otherwise other people will not find it otherwise. So that was an important part. So anyway, I want to start with picking the theme, which is really the one that is super essential. Starting, well, all that, working with products, you start typically with picking a theme. You start with something. But then again, this is not just, you've seen it, this is not just a site that is only presenting some design or appearance. It has to come with functionality. And obviously that all you cannot program on yourself. So you need to start with a solution. And of course there are plenty directory themes out there that you can find on ThemeForest or maybe other sources. So it was really, to get started, find the right theme that fits, our project, the best. And actually that took quite a while because we started with one and it was too basic. It just didn't do the things we wanted it to do. And it was just too far away from where we wanted to go. So we were discarding that. So that was just, already a few hours wasted, let's call it like that. So then I picked the one, we said, okay, we use the one which is the most sold one. Yeah, so this is an easy decision criteria, go to ThemeForest, which comes top on the list. So pick that one, more than, 30,000 installations. Like, that must be great. Okay, working quite a bit with that, trying to, make sense of it, how, the fit for our project. And eventually I found out it was quite a bit sloppy. So, I think maybe this element of sold items is not always the best one, to reverence, looking for something because it was sloppy and it was not really on, especially why we discarded it again, because on the mobile device, it was not working. It was quite sloppy. So, it was obviously in the build a few years ago, maybe for the big screen, but then again, it's quite different having a cell phone. It has to really be, responsive to that. So, okay, coming back again, eventually we picked a solution that, we have then built our platform on, our solution on, which actually is one that has been around quite a while because we wanted really to have a stable product. So one that is, there is not a much debugging to do because that's always an issue, what works and what doesn't work. And this was actually a solution that actually, kept, was a good decision and a good pick because it's very stable. And, usually when something is not working, then I do something wrong. I did something wrong in the setup and the system is working fine. It's just, and that's really good and important because it keeps you really to work in an efficient way. So, see a moment. So we are further down the road. So one more. Yeah, here we go. So then this was really, I was talking here about, the challenge. So I leave that for the moment. The other thing is when you build a site like this, which has already quite a bit of complexity and functionality, you actually, WordPress is great in this wealth of tools. You pick things, you put them together, and in a relatively short time, in a few days, you have something we say, which, which is kind of a wow, that looks fine, that's good. But then really, the hard part only starts because usually on a solution like that, where you have some ideas about collaboration that you find in none of the, ready-made directory, solutions, you have to start somewhere to customize it. And the customization is a process that needs quite a bit of technical expertise, and maybe some of you have working with CSS, styling things. This is still relatively simple because you style the presentation, the appearance to your, to your needs. But then again, when it comes to functionality, you're quite quickly, hitting the point where you say you have to do some programming. And this is where, you start with, playing around with JavaScript, which actually was very new for me, even though I have some programming experience, but never in this world of website building. So a lot of the presentation of the satellite imagery, of the maps, is actually adjusted and customized in the way we want it, because you have some ready screen of a map that typically only shows some streets that help not at all for us, because you just get an empty, in the wilderness, you just get an empty sheet. So it was important. It works with satellite imagery, but you also have the options to switch back also to to street maps. And that took quite a bit of effort for me to understand these APIs. I was working first with Mapbox and then eventually switched to Google again, which kind of, is anyway the one solution that everybody knows. So it's also an element that people find it easy to work with, because, this Google Maps, you have them everywhere, typically on your cell phone. So at the end, it's a very good documentation if you ever work with Works. So they really good to give you the chance to adapt the controls the way you want it for your solution. So for that, you need some programming. And for that, you need JavaScript that, builds the bridge from your application to the Google Map display. Yeah, and maybe still one mark. So if you ever get to the point where you get a little bit more serious about building a solution, then we found that the w3schools.com, I don't know how many people know that actually, is excellent resource for learning stuff about the internet. It's fantastic. I think we don't have gone far if we would not have that. Because it learns, it starts, you have so easy, intuitive way to check things and try out things that actually, you can, even as a beginner and if not much experience, can do some stuff you would not have expected. So yeah, it's a big recommendation, learning HTML, but also if you go further with JavaScript and also PHP if you go all the way. Maybe one last comment about, and the professional developers, if there's one or the other in the group, will then quickly realize that we are not the big professionals, because what you see here on the screen is that eventually we used almost 100 CSS customizations to make it appear the way we want it, which is a lot, and for the professional, very clear that we are not working very structured. Because if you're picking items and just style them, and we pick the next item, we style it, it's not really the way you work professionally. But again, it's a learning experience. If we would style over, it would be a little bit different. Yeah, there's quite a bit of JavaScript, mostly for the maps display involved, but also for some other few things, and very few PHP snippets that actually I was like, Googling and finding solutions for our issues. So they move on. So this was more about the theme and in general, but then you get to the topic of the plugins. A site like this you have seen will need roughly, this is just a ballpark number, a dozen plugins to really work, to cover the different things you need to cover. And there's quite a few things to cover. Maybe you have time, I will get back to that later. The caveat, the problem with, adding plugins to your site is always you never know exactly what it will do to your application. So this is sometimes really, it's a lot of trial and error. You have a problem, you find a solution, you find a plugin, you install it. Only later you find out, oh, that's doing something you really didn't expect it to do, or is hitting the performance, is having other consequences. So that's really the one thing. This great pool of resources is, it makes it sometimes hard to navigate, finding the stuff you need, and really also making sure it works in your environment. And here, WordPress is sometimes a little bit, for us, the amateurs, a little bit a black box, because you do something, what's happening inside, not always so clear. For the multi-site, I just come briefly back. That's really excellent. It's super simple. When you're starting with that, you think, oh, that must be very complex. A network of subsites, and how would that work? The truth is, it's super simple. You need actually one plugin, one tool that you can, copy your template. Of course, you build a template. That is the one you start with. And then you can then, just in a matter really of minutes, recreate, copy into a new subsite. So that makes it super easy to use the solution, not only for Corsica or for Sardinia or whatever place, you would like it to use to. And then it takes a little bit of customization. You need to adjust the regions because, of course, the Corsican regions only exist there. To switch from the imagery that this is really, fit to the place and to the region that the subsite is meant to operate. Just looking a little bit of time to see a little bit how much time we have. Not much time, so we have to. Unfortunately, I will not take time here to explain the plugins because we're using this. I'm afraid we can always talk that later in a smaller group or, in the coffee, over coffee. So I think we move on. Yeah, now we can really to the critical point a little bit, how to, to market it. Well, market is not the right word. How to, spread the word, how to, how to make people to adopt it, which is really, there's quite a bit of, time invested from our side. Of course, that's all fun and great, and we learn a lot with it, technically, but also, going out there and doing some exploring ourselves and, trying out the solution. So that's all perfect. But at the end, you want to make it people to use it. And for that, we have quite thought about a few things. And the one thing is really, we want to kind of, present it as a very optimistic thing. Not something like where you save the world, because that, anyway, never works. And and nobody is motivating nobody. So it's more like, go on a beach day and, use the app to find the best places. Or, so you can use it that way as Lisa presented. So it is also, we try to promote this concept of being a scout or champion. You just can go out, you see something, you document it, and you post it, and others can pick it up and, work from there. So it's really this element of collaboration. If I really would do more development, invest more time, I would even more stress that more, this collaborative aspect. It would be great to have a timeline of the activities, of all the activities that somebody has done, and, make that, visualize that. That would be fantastic. It was not easy to, let's say, not so easy to achieve. That would be something, maybe an improvement down the line. The other aspect, which we think is super important, and maybe if you have, paid close attention, you will see some aspects of this, is to make it very local, because this is about Corsica. Okay, so we are in Vienna, so it's not, something that is close to you. So it's mainly meant for people that, know this place, who love this place, who go there, and there's actually quite a community for that, and for the local people that, live there in the neighborhoods. And so we think it's very important. So we made this we geared it to the local community, that, also the countdown is, is really linked to the Corsican history, and Corsica has really quite a bit of special, also special history that is very, important for the people. So that's, I think, very important to, create this identification. As much important is the local identification, we want to, have it also a global solution. So this is really local, for the site that you want to promote and you want to get people, to be active in. But the other thing is really to make it available to others, even as a solution on a multi-site, as a sub-site. That makes it completely free of cost, makes it completely easy. You don't need to have any technical background. You get a 1-hour training. We prepare the site for you, whoever, out there in the community, wherever they are. And, they can work with it, and they will administer it themselves in the terms of content. Of course, that's not what we're gonna, if that makes use somewhere in the far north, we're gonna we'll do that. But we will ensure the system is running, that all updates are there, that all plugins are always safe and secure, and all the technical infrastructure is taken care of. So for people, they can really focus on that, what they like most, and it is, going out there and, doing something, meaningful and useful. So yeah, that's pretty much covers. Thank you, Lisa. Great presentation. Our presentation. So now we're happy. If you have any observations, you're happy to speak out, and let us know what you think or what you don't like, maybe. Okay, great.
There are two things that I really, really like about
cool.
this project. By the way, I think it's absolutely excellent.
Thank you.
And I think it would be nice if it spread into other countries as well.
Yeah, it's
But I like two things about it the most.
Okay.
The first one is simplicity.
Yeah.
It feels really like a simple, very free to use website. And the second thing that I think was not mentioned, but I think is very important, and it's probably a big part of the success of the project, was the use of gamification. It's like
good. Good observation.
somebody is a scout, somebody can win a prize.
Yes.
And maybe if you really develop this idea even further, to maybe even find more options of gamification, then I think it would encourage people even more, and it maybe they would, take part in the project in a more intensive manner. So I think, yeah, it's really, really, really brilliant.
Okay. Wonderful, really appreciate your comment, and you really paid close attention. That's also the comment to you. You got it, you really got it, what we try to focus on a little bit, so thanks a lot, yeah. Any other questions?
Firstly, very grateful presentation, very grateful software conference. One maybe, you showed it at the example of Corsica, maybe a beautiful holiday island, I've never been there, no problem.
Should go there.
Okay. But a suggestion, is a plan, or why don't you want to do it using this platform when it's already a multi-site created for cities?
Yeah.
So not to improve the city.
That's perfect, and that's not a problem at all. You could use this. We used it as an island because kind of that's where we started and where the idea was born. But you could use this. We never used the word beach in the whole platform. It's always a location. So with the core of a site that needs some activity, cleanup, whatever, that you can be a scout, you can be a champion, could be any location in the world. Google Map is everywhere, so kind of you can. But the thinking is that, and I think you thought it's very good. I think cities, work a little bit different because then you work with address, which works fine. It's perfectly covered in the solution. So the thinking is that the subsites, this network, they could be any place, but it typically should be a region. If you would make this for the world, this would never work. Yeah, you have to make it somehow local that people can identify with. That's why also you need also a domain. So for the specialists of you, with the great thing with the multi-site is also that they can use multi-domains. So in this case, we're using a French. Domain because Corsica is a French island, but so you need to have this local aspect, and I think it's a good comment for cities. That's perfect. Also, will work for everything.
Something like this in Austria and Germany, also some areas, but I think they could have a great use of this project. They don't have very European addresses.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the comment. That sounds good. Good thought and good suggestion. Yeah, welcome. Okay. Yeah, so where we are is that we still have one task to accomplish, is it translated into French. Which actually, which is kind of, is something that we just getting into. It's not something that will be far down the road. But obviously, again, I was talking a lot about local. Okay, this will only work in French, obviously Corsican island. And it would be even great to have it in the Corsican language. Well, maybe if we find somebody who is, volunteering for that, I would really be happy to do it. Also, again, to strengthen this local aspect and also this history that also we link our site to. Yes, so what a little bit our plan is, translate it to French, and we anyway go back there on a regular basis when it will be there in summertime with our Spanish, so we'll do a little bit more scouting ourselves. And at the same time, we'll of course talk to local people there, a few people we know, people from the community, because actually you would think that this is a topic which is, it's a minority topic in terms of how many people, get involved in such a thing. But there's actually quite a wide ocean conservation community out there. A lot of surfers are really, they deal with that. You will find quite a few platforms. There's several initiatives in this regard, but not quite a solution like that. So typically they organize this as a community event. So they have a date, they have a gathering, they get together. Our solution is a little bit different because we're working here about remote places that, you don't go as a community, you go there as an explorer. That's a little bit what makes it also adventurous. And but coming back to you, so maybe next year we can, if there's a WordPress camp again, we show off a little bit our achievements in the real world and the feedback. Any other one? Yeah, welcome. Okay. Okay, yeah, very good question. So, I mean, actually, as I mentioned, picking the theme is essential, and this is actually something that comes with the theme. So the themes is taking care of that. I could not program it; it would be too complex. It's something that is built in the functionality of the theme. As I mentioned, these themes, they already come with a certain package of features, you know, what you can click and what you can press and how you can, you know, the forms that you have. And this is with that you start with, yeah? So the core, let's say, a presentation, you say, is really coming from the theme, and that makes it easy. That's great to work with WordPress, because otherwise, you know, that gives you a good start. A lot of the detail, I have to say then, comes from us in terms of the customization. So, you know, always looking first at the satellite map is something that we somehow built into it, yeah? But there was a map there before. Now we customize it, that it's shown the way we want, that it has the right zoom. There's a lot of detail that you would not think of that is important. So a lot of comes from the theme, and then the hard part is to customize it to really how you want to see it. Yeah, this is a little bit, again, is a good point. It's a bit tricky. You pick a theme, and then the theme tells you all the things you need. For this theme, we need WooCommerce. It's not at all commercial. We don't want to sell stuff, yeah? But you have to have WooCommerce to work with that. That's an aspect I don't like so much, because I would rather, you know, keep it to limit. In general, my recommendation, keep the plugins to really the minimum that you need, because every extra plugin is an extra cost, not financially, but in terms of performance, in terms of complexity. So yeah, WooCommerce has to be there, because some of the functionality of the theme is built on it, and then, you know, you're stuck there. You cannot. Good point.
I think it's time to wrap it up. So anyway, thank you for sharing your experience. It was quite insightful, I think, for everyone, because it's quite a good example of the usability and implementation of WordPress in quite sustainable project that contributes to the climate change and into the cleaner environment. So thank you so much for sharing the insight and experience. And yeah, I think it was nice to listen for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, then happy grading. Welcome. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Good luck.